DBSCG things.
What's up, Yuhp gang? It's your boy Taxon and welcome back to Yuhp DBSCG things, and today we're going over another very exciting deck profile, guys. This is going to be the deck that went undefeated at our leader draft weekend at locals. This is going to be SS4 Helku. But before we get into it, guys, I do want to say that if you guys want custom mats and or sleeves, absolutely check out Promats, guys. This is the best place to go get your custom card needs. Links in the description below for you guys to go check it out. And also, before we dive in, I do want to say that I'm trying to grow my Discord community as much as possible. So if you guys are in search for a community where you can come check out the card reviews every single day, ask for an untap and or webcam battle, or generally just ask some card questions, this is definitely the place for you. So I will leave a link below for you guys to go check it out. And with that being said, guys, if you guys enjoyed this deck or my content in general, remember to hit all those buttons for me, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video. And with that being said, let's turn it around and check out the list. And one more thing to add, guys, I am trying to give out a bunch of TPs and judge packs and random revision packs and things like that I've collected over time. So I will be doing this every single week. I'll give out 3 to 5 of these packs on my live streams, on my Tuesday live streams, Tuesday testings, of course. So make sure if you guys want a chance to win any of these TPs, you do stop by for next week and any week after that for a chance to win some of these TPs. And for a brief second, I will leave a picture up of what the prizes are so that you are a little bit more swayed into stopping by. With that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Alrighty, guys, here's the deck. Now let's go ahead and go over it. Starting off with the leader first. Whenever you attack with him, you draw 1 card, and then you have a secondary awakening auto. If you have 2 or more energy and a yellow battle card is revealed from the top of your deck and then placed into the drop area and then played from that card's skill, you may flip this card over, draw 1 card, and then untap one of your energies, rip yourself down to 5, and that's where you'll be with that awakening. And then you have a standard awakening effect, 4 or less, draw 2 cards, flip over. So on the back side, you're always at 20k whenever you attack, which is great because you get that auto. When this card attacks, draw 2 cards, then choose 1 card from your hand, place it on the top of your deck, and then this card gains plus 5,000 power for the duration of the battle. That's huge. We also have an activate main. Basically, once per game, you get to go through your deck, grab an Android 18 Defender of Heroes Unison from your deck, and add it to your hand. Very, very good. And then when you do so, you choose 1 card from your hand and place it on the top of your deck. Activate main. Once per turn, Spirit Boost 1, reveal the top card of your deck, and then place it into your drop area. That Spirit Boost effect is going to be what's triggering most of the card skills to get played in this deck. First things first, we got the Unison. This is going to be one of the main things that keep this deck functioning correctly. It's a 1-cost Unison, 4k plus 2 markers every single turn. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and then basically TOP like back in Invoker. You get to look at the top 3, place them back however you want, which is going to lean a lot into your Spirit Boost effect, and then also allow you to set up your draw 2s really, really well. Next up, you got the -2 effect. It doesn't come up often because we are trying to build markers up on this card for our next card we're going to speak about. But I have done it, I think, once in the last like 6 or 7 games I've played this deck. It does come up, it just not often. -2, you draw 3 cards and then choose 2 cards from your hand and place them on top of the deck. So it's essentially the +2, except for you're going to draw 1 of the cards instead of putting, you know, you're going to draw 1 instead of just cycle 3 or reorganize 3. You have this really nifty auto that's going to come up a lot with one of your main cards in this deck. That's really, really good. Auto, when a marker is removed from this card using a Spirit Boost skill, you get to choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest mode. That does not get through barrier, but it's still very, very strong. Next up, we got Gohan Unison. We got 2 copies of this. This guy is Empower 3 blocker, so you pay 3 energy for him. He empowers 3, so it comes out for 6 markers, and then you get this auto. When he's played, you get to remove X amount of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, ignoring barrier, where X is the amount of Unisons in your drop area. So essentially, when you play him, you're going to be able to KO 1, and if you stacked 2 max most of the time, battle cards in rest mode, ignoring barrier. That's huge. You get a +1, draw a card. You almost never use that because every single time you slap this sucker down, you're going to hit that -3. Choose 1 of your leader cards and this card. They both get plus 5,000 power, and then this card gains triple attack for the duration of the turn. That's good for closing out games, swinging 3 times, or just swinging twice and then leaving your blocker up for defense is really, really good. So next up on that list, we are playing Unisons, and 1 that comes out on turn 1 at that. So we are playing 4 copies of Vegeta Prideful Transformation. This card is not great, but this card is good. It's good for this deck, especially since we have a turn 1 Unison. This card's really only good for yellow decks that turn 1 Unison. So that's why this card's good here, because we have this guy that's normally in turn 1 unison. It always negs you a card from hand, which is kind of salty feeling. It doesn't replace itself, but it does make the card being played come out in rest mode as long as it doesn't have to deflect, and then it provides you a blocker, so it can stop 2 attacks if necessary. Next up, we have 4 copies of Mecha Frieza Robotic Riposte. You're playing yellow, you kind of just play 4 copies of this nowadays, it's just the way it is. You negate the attack, you play the card, and then if it gets played, you get this auto. Whenever your opponent wants to attack for the duration of the turn, they have to rest one of their cards in order to do so. And that's just cards in general, so they can rest unisons, battle cards, energy, anything, fields. Because we're playing Robotic Riposte, we obviously have to play an extra card engine, so we're playing 3 reinforcements. You kind of just, I feel like 3 is a great number. You go down to 5 when you awaken with your auto effect, so this card becomes live on turn 2, which is great for turning on your super combos and things like that, so I absolutely love this card. Being able to stop 2 attacks is always very, very good. Next up, we're running 3 copies of Realm of the Gods, Goku Black Kamehameha. This card is absolutely phenomenal, and sometimes I feel like this is the better Floodgate for some reason. If your opponent doesn't sequence their turns correctly, this card does gain crazy value defensively. Being able to tap down 2 of your opponent's battle cards and draw a card and get plus 10k, this one card can possibly not only replace itself, but stop 3 attacks in the process, so it's a really, really good card. Next up, we have Final Flash. This card loses value the more and more time goes by. It's alright though, people know not to play into it, but I still like to keep it on deck just in case someone does play into it. Essentially, most of the time, nowadays, it's just a plus 15k. But if I need it to be, it negates the skills of a card, ignoring barrier, which is huge. Next up, we're playing 2 Tyrannical Blows. We're going to want a card that stops floodgates from going in with this guy or any just field that we got established at the time. This card will make a 3-cost battle card come in with its skills negated, and then once you do that, you get to choose another one of your opponent's battle cards and or unisons and negate its skills for the duration of the turn. So if you're, let's say you're versing blue and they want to use Gohan Baby's minion counter. They tap 3, or maybe Trunks Rogue Prospect counter. They tap 1. You can tap 1, use this. It's going to make their floodgate come out skillless, and then you get to make their blue unison and play worthless for the auto -1. Our last extra card in the setup, we have 4 copies of A Trip to Hell. This is going to be our turn 2 play, which is going to be flipping our leader over. You're going to use that top activate main, pay 1 energy. If your leader card is a Yellow Sun Goku GT card, you get to draw 2 cards and then choose 1 card from your hand and then place it on the top of your deck. Additionally, after that, you reveal that card and then you place it into your drop area. That's going to trigger certain battle cards' effects to get played, which is going to trigger his effect to awaken, which is also going to trigger your, trigger your board state to get bigger and whatnot. So going into the targets that get played off that, or just set up things for that, we got 4 of the Trunks the Brawler. This card's great. It has an auto. When it gets revealed from the top of your deck and then bursted, you can play it, and it doesn't cost an energy to do that. So if you're ever in a pinch where this was your 1 energy on turn 2 where it tapped you out, you can go ahead and draw 2, place this on the top of your deck, burst it, it will still awaken your leader, and you get an energy back. So that's pretty good. You also get the added an effect where you get to draw a card when he's played, and then you choose 1 card from your hand and place it on the top of your deck. That is really good when it comes to setting up other things, because like I said, you can use A Trip to Hell for 1 energy to draw 2 and then place him from your hand on the top of the deck. You burst him, he gets played, you draw another card, and you place another card to set up, like for your Spirit Boost effect, if you turn 1 your unison. Anyways, he has the same exact activate main as the backside of your leader, except for it's a battle card version, so I like to call this card your leader on legs. You have an activate main, Spirit Boost 1. If your leader card is a Son Goku GT, reveal the top card of your deck and then place it into the drop area. That's of course going to trigger more of your cards to get played and or turn on your leader to flip over. This card will also turn into copies of this if you have your unison in play. We have Pan the Brawler. This is another free card that will flip our leader over. It's also a card that gives our leader critical, which is huge because our leader is a 20k. So if you I don't know, I just feel like this card's good. A free blocker that gives my leader critical, so I swing 20k crit and have a blocker present for either the cost of only a spirit boost or 1 energy that drew me 2 in the process. That's really huge. So next up we have 3 copies of Son Goku Self-Restraint. This is going to be another one of your burst targets. He's a 19k blocker. He has an auto for 1 energy when he's revealed from the top of your deck and then bursted. You play him. He has an auto. When this card is played, draw 1 card, then place up to 1 card from your hand on the top of the deck. Most of the time you're only going to use the draw. You're not going to place back on the top. And then you're going to choose one of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest mode. That's really, really big when it comes to the next card I'm going to speak of. And then also, like I said, this card paired with this card just means you tap down 2 cards, which is huge for cards like this. This card should be at 4 of. Somehow along the week before I recorded this, I lost a copy of it. I probably was like pulling a yellow staple out of the deck to play something else and ended up losing one. This was at 4. This will I'm at this deck right now as it is at 53. It would be at 54 with the 4th copy of this, so just keep that in mind. This should be at 4. This card is essentially, I like to call this my 1 energy Turles. This guy is a deflect, double strike, and then it comes out and KOs a card in rest mode, which is absolutely huge. I don't know why I like the card so much. You can use this card's effect at the bottom for free as long as you have 3 or more energy. You get to reveal the top card of your deck and play it. If you use your unison effect or maybe your leader's effect to draw 2 and then place 1, this guy is on the top of your deck. You can just use one of your free effects without using energy so that you can pay 1 for his effect to play him for only 1 and then get a removal of a rested card and then a 20k double strike pressure on field. That card's absolutely phenomenal. Very, very good card and necessary for the deck. Like I said, this should be at 4. Moving on, we have 2 Turles. Why not have a 2 energy version of the card if I already have the 1 energy version? So Turles essentially does the same thing except for you don't have to burst them into play. You just tap 2, play him when you're on 3 or more energy, and then you get the draw card and the KO a rested card. Or you can KO 2 rested cards, and then you have a 20k double strike pressure. Next up, we are moving on to our super combos of choice. We have 3 Krillin moments before comeback. This is your standard super combo for yellow nowadays. If your life's at 4 or less, you may bottom deck 1 card from your hand and then draw 2. Very, very good. And then next up we have our secret rare. It's also one of our super combos. We have Piccolo and Gohan. Card's really, really good. He's a 5 plus 30k, but essentially, since you're playing yellow, you're going to rest the heck out of all your opponent's stuff, and he's going to become a 0 plus 30k. And then whenever you combo him, he's going to play himself, rest something, and draw a card. So he's going to give you 30k combo power, along with the fact that he's going to play as a 40k beat stick that draws 2 times on your turn. If you're playing him on your turn, he's going to draw once on play, once on swing, and then rest 2 things in the same situations. So with that being said, moving on from the secret rare, we have Cooler Counter Counter. The secret rare is what makes this card so much better. We could be going in, let's say, with Turles. Your opponent tries to negate. You say, yeah, no. I'll draw a card off this, and then I will combo with this, and now I'm at a huge number, and you can't do much about it. So that's definitely something you can do. Cooler is huge for this deck. You definitely need at least 2 copies. I honestly would recommend maybe even a 3rd. Being able to do this on turn 3 and any time beyond that is absolutely huge in a lot of matchups. Going on to our 1-ofs, we're playing yellow, so we do have a bunch of those. We have 1 Poutine. Card is still really, really good. We're not playing Trunks Vegeta, so we don't have the 3-drop Trunks just always chilling around. So having this as a backup card that's going to stop an extra attack every single turn is absolutely phenomenal. And being barrier that it never really gets dealt with is huge. We have 1 Bergamo. Card's still great. There's a reason it's at 1. You play it. You tap 2 energy when one of your opponent's cards is rested, and then you can tap down 2 of your opponent's battle cards, or just tap down 2 of your opponent's cards in general, ignoring barrier. So it's battle cards or energy. Bergamo's huge. He pairs really well with Final Flash and Self-Restraint, so just having him is huge. And then also you can proc him off your secret rare as well, which is really, really good. Power of Super Saiyan, yet another card that procs Bergamo. This card essentially is going to save you from a unison attack whenever you see it, and then draw you a card. We have our Champa Double Strike. I would prefer Kai, but Kai doesn't have a judge stamp, and I have this, so this is just what I'm playing. And we have SS3 Son Goku Man on the Mission. This is our overwhelm of choice. He's a 20k overwhelm 6 for free, and then he's a double strike critical, which is absolutely huge. And with that being said, guys, this was the deck profile. What were my matchups this day? I honestly do not have the greatest memory for it. I know one of my matchups was Garlic Jr. I will say Final Flash came up heavy in that matchup because getting rid of Indestructible to get rid of that 5-drop was huge. My other matchup, I really can't remember. I'm really struggling to remember what my second matchup or my first matchup of the day was. But yeah, I do know what my finals was. My finals was against the starter deck Vegito that my deck list actually ended up doing pretty well. My buddy ended up pulling it on our leader draft weekend, and he actually did really well. But I ended up taking that matchup with the power of resting stuff. I rested his credit score, and he wasn't able to buy the win. So with that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. If you guys did, remember hit all those buttons for me, like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you guys definitely try it out. We'll see you guys next time.